Hi students, how are you? Fine? Okay. Students, in our last class we discussed paragraph 2nd and 3rd of the prose related to God. And today we are going to discuss paragraph 4, 5 and 6. Okay students, now I am reading the paragraph 4, 5 and 6. You just listen me carefully while I am reading the paragraphs. Okay? It's really getting bad now, exclaimed the man. I hope it passes quickly. It did not pass quickly. For an hour, the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley. The field was white as if covered with salt. Not a leaf remained on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone from the plants. Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. When the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his sons, a plague of locusts would have left more than this. The hail has left nothing. This year we will have no corn. That night was a sorrowful one. All our work for nothing. There is no one who can help us. We will all go hungry this year. But in the hearts of all who lived in that solitary house, in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope. Help from God. Don't be so upset, even though this seems like a total loss. Remember, no one dies of hunger. That's what they say, no one dies of hunger. Okay students, now let us discuss the meanings of some unfamiliar words from paragraph 4, 5 and 6. Okay? The unfamiliar words are storm, locust, a plague of, solitary and upset. Storm means a violent disturbance of the atmosphere. Okay? Next, locust. Locust means insects fly in groups and destroy the crops. Okay? Then a plague of. A plague of means a group of. Next, solitary. Solitary means single, or we can say lonely. Upset. Upset means disturbed. Okay students, now look at this picture. This is the picture of some locusts, and when they fly in groups, that is known as the a plague of locusts. While they fly in group, they eat the crops and destroy it. Okay students, now I am going to explain the paragraphs line by line. You just listen me carefully. Okay? It's really getting bad now, exclaimed the man. Students, here the man refers to Lencho. Lencho told in surprise that it was getting bad then. It was getting bad means the hailstorm was getting bad then. I hope it passes quickly. It did not pass quickly. Lencho hoped that the hailstorm would pass quickly, but it did not pass quickly. Next, for an hour the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley. For an hour the hail rained on the entire valley, the house, the garden, and on the cornfield. And as it rained for an hour, next, the field was white as if covered with salt. What happened? As the hail rained for an hour, it was covered with the hailstones and it was just looking like white. So, as if the cornfield was covered with salt. Students, you just see the picture how Lencho's cornfield was covered with hailstones. As the color of the salt and the hailstone are same, so the cornfield looked as if covered with salt. Next, not a leaf remained on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone from the plants. So students, as the hail continued for an hour, the trees became leafless. Here trees refers to the plants of the cornfield. And the flowers were also gone from the plants. Thus, Lencho's cornfield was totally or completely destroyed. Students, Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. When the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his sons, a plague of locusts would have left more than this. As the hailstorm completely destroyed Lencho's cornfield, Lencho became so sad. And when the hailstorm passed, he stood in the middle of his cornfield and told his sons, if his cornfield was attacked by the plague of locusts, then they would left something. But this hailstorm had left nothing. So here Lencho preferred the plague of locusts to the hailstones. Next, the hail has left nothing. This year we will have no corn. Students, the hailstorm completely destroyed Lencho's cornfield. So Lencho told that they would have no corn for that year. That night was a sorrowful one. All our work for nothing. So that night was so sorrowful for Lencho and for his family. So Lencho told that all their work was in vain or their hard labor was fruitless. There is no one who can help us. Students, here Lencho became so helpless and he told that there was no one who could help them. We will all go hungry this year. Here Lencho told that they would all go hungry that year. But in the hearts of all who lived in that solitary house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope, help from God. Students, in that solitary house, in the entire valley, in the hearts of everybody or in the hearts of the family members, there was a single help. What was that? That was the help from God. Don't be so upset, even though this seems like a total loss. Lencho told his family not to be so upset, as the cornfield was totally destroyed by the hailstorm. Still, Lencho gave their family full assurance not to be so upset. Remember, no one dies of hunger. That's what they say. No one dies of hunger. Here, Lencho reminded everybody that no one dies of hunger in this world. So, everybody in the family told that no one dies of hunger. Okay students, now let us discuss some question answer of paragraph 4, 5 and 6. Answer in a word or a phrase. Question number 1. How long did the hailstorm continue? Yes, very good. For an hour. Next, where did the hail rain on? Very good. The hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield and on the whole valley. The hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, and on the whole valley. Okay, question number 3. Why was the field white after the storm? Yes, very good. Covered with hailstones. Now students, question number 4. All our work for nothing. What does this statement mean? Absolutely right. Their labor was in vain. Okay, now come to the last question. What did Lencho tell his family after the hailstorm? Very good. No one dies of hunger. Okay? So students, today we discussed paragraph 4, 5 and 6 of the prose A Letter to God. In our later classes, we will discuss the other paragraphs. So thank you. Bye bye.